Good evening and thank you very much for joining us here on KTN Prime on this 26th day of December 2017, which is Boxing Day. Hoping you have had a good one together with your family and friends. Tonight we take a look at stories that are making headlines in the country and beyond. I am Akisa Wandera. Many thanks for joining us. Let's begin tonight with more bad news from the roads. KTN News can report of an accident that has happened a few minutes ago in Matuu along the Mwingi-Thika Nairobi highway. Details are still very scanty, but what we do know right now is that a 45-seater Matatu veered off the road before overturning about a kilometer from the Matuu police station. Our sources have told us that 5 people have been confirmed dead, but that number could be higher as eyewitnesses have indicated that the Nairobi-based Matatu was overloaded at the time of the accident. The eyewitnesses adding that they saw the Matatu being released by National Transport and Safety Authority officers at a roadblock a few moments before the crash. Reports also indicate that angry members of the public have beaten up the NTSA officials. Police have arrived at the scene and those injured have been rushed to the Matuu Level 4 hospital. We're working with our nearest crew and we shall be reporting the details here firsthand. But even as we try to follow that up for you, Water and Irrigation Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa was this afternoon kicked out of the Maragoli Cultural Festival by a hostile crowd. Police fired in the air to contain the crowd that was chanting anti-Wamalwa slogans, forcing him to leave the Mbale grounds in Vihiga County. NASA co-principal Musalia Mudavadi had to escort Wamalwa to his car as the crowd pelted his car with stones. Our reporter Rita Tinina begins our Boxing Day broadcast with that drama.
Food, drinks and dance. Showcasing the best that the Maragoli have to offer. But the 38th Maragoli Cultural Festival may be remembered for something totally different. The backlash that faced Water and Irrigation Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa. The CS arrived at the Mbale grounds in Vihiga County at around 3 p.m. Tuesday to join other leaders, among them NASA Corps Principal Musalia Mudavadi and KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli. But the crowd here would have none of it. Barely 10 minutes after his arrival, the message from the crowd was loud and clear. Attempts by Mudavadi and Atwoli to calm the crowd fell on deaf ears, leaving Mudavadi with one option: save the cabinet secretary from the hostile crowd. Mudavadi escorted Eugene Wamalwa from the podium, at one point holding his back, walking him to his car. Even then, Wamalwa was not out of the woods yet. As the cabinet secretary, who is seen as a Jubilee appointment in the region, left the grounds, the crowds started pelting his car with stones. Police fired in the air to try and contain the crowd. Earlier, before the Eugene Wamalwa backlash,
sisi tunasema tunataka electoral justice. Hii IBC ichunguzwe, itengenezwe, kwa sababu tunataka kesho, kama si Mudavadi, lakini kuna kijana mmoja hapa anaitwa Amuguni, amezaliwa leo na anataka kuwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Hatutaki kura yake iibiwe na kompyuta siku zijazo.
Here, Mudavadi got the backing of local leaders.
Kwa hivyo tunatangaza kuanza kwa campaign ya Musalia Mudavadi kama presidential candidate under flag bearer wa NASA. Sina mna hivyo?
Kwamba ikikuja 2022 presidential candidate wangu ni Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi.
Vote yetu ni kwa Musalia Mudavadi.
This is not a game of jokes. Sasa tunaelewana vizuri. Lazima tufuate barabara.
KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli called for dialogue between President Uhuru Kenyatta and NASA leader Raila Odinga.
Pahali kuna msukosuko kutokusikizana, watu watengeneze waende into what we call in English dialogue.
NASA, which is questioning Uhuru Kenyatta's legitimacy, postponed the much talked about swearing in of Raila Odinga on the 12th of this month, a ceremony that Raila says will happen in the new year. Rita Tinina, KTN News.
Police have arrested a 13-year-old boy who's suspected of attempted robbery at Yana Tires in Nakuru branch in Kaptembo, Nakuru West. Police say that two of his accomplices are still at large after they managed to escape the police dragnet. Victor Ogale with more details from Nakuru.
It is believed the three male suspects gained access into Yana Tires Nakuru branch of the Nakuru-Eldoret Highway minutes past 7 a.m. The security guard at the premises raised an alarm among his colleagues who arrived at the scene together with security officers who cordoned off the premises in search of the suspected robbers. And after a search that lasted over an hour with joint efforts from various units, only one suspect was arrested with two of his accomplices believed to have escaped from these premises.
Sasa tunaomba serikali ya Nakuru County isiangalie tu ati natafuta wale majambasi wakubwa ati ndio waseme ni majambasi. Majambasi ni vijana under 15.
Wametusumbua sana kulingana saizi kila mtu halali juu ni Christmas. Hakuna mwenye analala saizi. Ukienda mashamba unakuta nyumba yako imevunjwa. Ukiweka gari yako unakuta imetolewa mpaka tire. Unaona? Kwa hivyo mzee akipatikana apigwe ulio ama apelekwe sentro ama afanye kwenye atafanywa.
Vijana saizi ndio wenye wanahangaisha watu huku kabisa. Sasa ukiangalia kijana kama huyo mwenye ametolewa hapa ndani. Huyo ni kijana mdogo sana, kitu ya kwanza. Kitu ya pili unaweza kuta hao wenye alikuwa anasema wako hapa ndani ndio wenye wanamtrain. Unaona? Sinaona hao wametafutwa wamekosekana.
Mayuthi wote wa Nakuru nawaambia je, uwizi si itatusaidia. Ndio tupeleka mahali. Tujipange, kuna kazi mingi ya kufanya. Kwa hata mwanamuziki, kwa artist, mimi kazi yangu mimi mtu wa stima, si ndio? Mimi kuna kazi mingi ya kufanya. Kama kijana unataka kuiba, usiibe. Jipange, fanya kazi nyingine ya maana kuliko uwizi.
It is still not clear if the two escapees made away with anything or if they were armed, but police are still conducting investigations. Victor Ogale, KTN News, Nakuru County.
Now, in our continuing series of high-profile one-on-one sit-down interviews, tonight's guest is the National Super Alliance NASA principal Raila Odinga. Sophia Wanuna sat down with Odinga and talked about a myriad of issues, including the 2017 electioneering period, the electoral justice debate, as well as current but controversial topics like the NASA People's Assembly and plans to swear him in. Here's an excerpt of that interview that will air in full from 10 p.m. tonight on KTN News.
You'll be sworn in as the President of the People's Assembly? Because in what other fashion or mechanism would that happen?
We will cross that bridge when we reach it.
Because your followers, and you have in a statement you expressed regret over this swearing in, there's a lot of back and forth. There's not been clarity. It's as if NASA, led by yourself, are playing it by the ear. There's really no strategy. Yesterday, a timetable was to be released on the swearing-in ceremony. What happened?
You see, what I'm trying to say is that NASA is very clear.
Is it?
And they've said, what you said is that we are allowing room for discussions. We are going to go ahead and do it on the 12th.
Mm-hmm. So why didn't was a timetable released yesterday? What happened?
The timetable is going to be released. That's not a big deal. What is happening is we are establishing people's assemblies around the country. And these people's assemblies are basically going to create an agenda for the National People's Assembly. We will deal with the issues at stake.
Yeah.
And what we have identified, of course, we are not restricted to what we are talking about. One is electoral justice, because we're saying that this electoral injustice must be fixed. If it is not fixed, In 2022,
yeah,
we just back to where we are.
And we'll talk about electoral justice, sir. We'll talk about the People's Assembly. Let me take you back to the swearing in, because on 2 occasions, that ceremony has been postponed. Initially, it was if Uhuru Kenyatta is sworn in, you'll be sworn in on the same day on a different ceremony. It didn't happen. Then Jamhuri Day didn't happen. Then yesterday, a timetable didn't happen.
When?
Yesterday, a timetable was to be released. That did not happen. So there's a sense of frustration that's growing and fatigue from your supporters, feeling as if there's really no clear way forward. It's as if there's no...
That is in your mind.
I am asking a question that I've seen many people take to Twitter to say, but isn't it, if for you were looking forward to do something for your supporters, and each time it keeps being changed, wouldn't you?
No, supporters understand.
Do they?
Those who made the announcement actually explained that we were going to do this, but we were petitioned by some diplomats and the religious leaders and business leaders to allow time for negotiations. And we said that if that would help to avoid a crisis, it is good listening to them.
So has Uhuru Kenyatta reached out to you, the president?
He has not. He has not. This is what we will say. But we will say that we don't want to appear to be people who are unreasonable. These people were on their knees talking to us.
But they've not delivered so far. At least there's no solution.
So we will not be then held responsible for subsequent consequences, because at least we have shown that we are not people who are unreasonable. Okay? So if you can give dialogue a chance, you give it a chance. And we've shown that we are ready to give it a chance and talk. But then what you've received is a contempt card. And that's why we are saying that now we will not be held responsible for whatever we're doing, because their response has been that of blackmail, intimidation, that if you swear in, you're committing treason, punishable by death, or by life imprisonment, and so on and so forth, which doesn't help.
So how does this dialogue look like? If the president calls you, you have a conversation, perhaps talks about creating a position in his government for you, or what is this dialogue? What is it you want to happen?
We are not talking about tokenism. You said we're not interested in Usumkati. We really want to talk about very fundamental issues. And we gave this agenda to the team that came to plead with us to postpone our swearing in. And we mentioned 5 subjects. 1 is electoral justice. 2 is the issue of police reforms, because we don't have a police force. We have a killer team, criminals in uniform. 3, judicial independence arising from the 26th of October elections. Then 4 is restructuring and strengthening the coalition, or devolution. Sorry, not coalition, devolution.
Right.
And 5 is the issue of restructuring of the executive.
Take a quick break here on KTN Prime. We'll be back with more from that interview by Sophia Wanuna with the NASA leader Raila Odinga. Back to the entire interview will be running at 10 p.m. here on KTN News. Let's take a breather. We'll be back with more.